sometimes you never know when you're being scrutinized or when you're under suspicion. All right, welcome back. So today I'm going to be discussing a little incident that happened to me earlier this week. It was a situation in which a customer pretty much accused me of stealing something from her house while I was on a service call. She wasn't even really clear what it was that she said I stole. She just said it was some documents and some cash. So long story short, I was on a service call. See, I got to the house. She was a nice, she seemed like a kind enough lady. It's a little bit weird, but didn't think anything of it. So as I was replacing the thermostat, she would come and ask, periodically, how it was going, why it's taking so long. So I didn't really, just figured, hey, she just needs to get somewhere or whatever. So yeah, that type of thermostat, you actually have to set up with your phone in order to program it, to get through all the program features. So I was setting up with her phone, so I had to use that. So after looking at the thermostat for a while, I wanted to actually try to take a look at the zone panel, just diagnose from there. So yeah, basically it was up in the attic on the second floor. So she showed me where the attic access was, and I went up there. Didn't think anything of it. It's normal for a customer to, kind of lead you up to the attic. So went up there, took a look at the zone board, got out of there real quick. After I replaced the thermostat temporary with just a Honeywell T4 because we couldn't get the actual replacement for that actual thermostat. I went upstairs. The first time she led me up the stairs, it was no big deal. Didn't think anything of it because that's normal. Customer's going to lead you up the stairs to show you where the access is or where the unit is or thermostat or whatever. So went up there, checked out everything I needed to check out. Second time, I went up there by myself without her, and just to check on, like I said, I think I did cycle the purge override or something. Yeah, as I was going down, she was coming back up, basically to kind of intercept me and, just to ask me, hey, what'd you need from up here? Did you need anything? Or, basically just, that kind of thing. I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm just checking, making sure the system is working, functioning the way it should. So no big deal. By that time, I was like, all right. Well, third time I went back up there by myself because, like I said, I was just kind of being ignorant, I guess, naive about it. So, boom, heading back down. She's coming back up the stairs. Hey, did you need anything from up here? What'd you need up here? I was like, oh, okay. I'm just checking the unit, making sure, checking the zone dampers, making sure the actual thermostat is essentially opening and closing the thermostat, the zone dampers as it should. She's like, oh, okay. By this time, I'm getting kind of uncomfortable, kind of frustrated. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? Let me just finish this thing up and get out of here, to be honest with you. So, because yeah, like I say, it's pretty offensive to have someone kind of on your back like that, while you're trying to do them a service. Didn't think anything too much of it. Yeah, it was kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but honestly, I've got a thick skin dealing with customers, so I didn't think anything more of it until my boss, he actually called me up the next day. And he was calling me about something else, but he kind of threw it in the conversation. Hey, that call you at the other day. I was like, yeah, what about it? It's like, yeah, she said you stole some an envelope for her that had some that had some cash in it. So I was like, oh no. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie about it. I literally laughed out loud about it, like on the phone with him, because like I said, I've never had that. I've never been accused of that before. So yeah, essentially, I just laughed about it, and he was like, yeah, she's like, yeah, I told her you'd never do anything like that. So he's like, yeah, I went to bat for you pretty well. And I was like, yeah, that's weird, I told him, yeah, I thought she was kind of following me around a lot now that she mentioned it. So I'm glad you did mention it, because it makes a lot more sense why she was actually essentially following me around everywhere in the house, even though I didn't think about it to the last interception, to the last confrontation, but for it to be verified, I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, so basically he said that he pretty much explained to her, he's not that type of person. He's a good guy. He wouldn't steal this and that. So I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, it is quite disturbing. And like I said, we can't really fault people. She might have gone through something in her life. She might have, had someone steal from her recently. Who knows? You never know what a person's going through. So you always have to give them kind of the benefit of the doubt. You never want to just completely write them off or just tell them, try to treat them with malice or be, tit for tat type of thing. Long story short, she texted him back later, I think like a day later, I asked him, hey, did you hear anything from her? He wasn't even going to say anything. He was like, oh yeah, matter of fact, she texted me and said her mom found the note. So I was like, oh wow, that's good. But it was just like I said, the more I thought about it, the more it was to the point where I felt like, man, this could actually escalate. Like, I need to take this a little bit more seriously, because essentially, who knows? I mean, she took it as far as actually calling, the company, to complain, or at least to file some sort of complaint. So yeah, she could have just as easily called the police and just had me under some kind of strained interrogation, or just having to prove my innocence. So it's one of those things where it's really, like I said, that's pretty rare, I'm sure, that that type of situation happens. But when it does, you want to take it seriously, because, like I said, I'm not sure, honestly, what her, maybe she just had it misplaced. Honestly, I was beginning to think that she was just trying to get one over, and essentially gets robbed the company for some money or something, just accuse me of stealing something and say, oh, I want it back, type of thing. That's what I initially thought. But after she said her mom found it, I mean, maybe she just really misplaced it and thought I took it from her. So you want to try to adapt to that if possible. And like I said, don't be paranoid. Don't be thinking everyone's suspicious of you. But when you start to get those pretty apparent vibes, try to make an attempt to appease the customer. Make an attempt to show the customer that you are a trustworthy person. You're just here to do the job. You're not here to steal anything. And just try to make that as clear as possible. Honestly, I just want to know, have any of you guys had to go through anything like that before? And if so, yeah, leave it in the comments below, because I'm really curious to know if this is something that's pretty common. I imagine it would be. I mean, given we spend so much time in people's houses, and I'm just not used to people being that paranoid. But yeah, just let me know what you think, and just let me know if you've experienced anything similar, and if so, how'd you handle it? Or how would you handle it if you haven't experienced anything like it? Because essentially, like I said, this is my first time in dealing with anything like that. I'm glad everything got resolved, because like I said, it could have escalated before it got resolved, and I would have been, in a pretty precarious situation trying to figure out, how to prove my innocence or whatever. So, it's one of those things you want to keep in mind when you're in people's houses, how to conduct yourself in a professional enough manner to where people don't think you're stealing from them. I feel I'm pretty professional in the first place, so that was just kind of that was an anomaly. That was something that she was going to think you were stealing from her regardless. She was that type of person, just based off of my short interaction with her. I think that that was her disposition. So yeah, no big deal. No hard feelings. On to the next one, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.